Welcome back to the channel where we explore, learn, and theorize about the Marvel Universe. Today we're going to be talking about a ton of new Marvel information that was leaked on 4chan, and then taking a look at another post which supposedly debunked it. If you're new to the channel, I do daily Marvel videos, so be sure to subscribe to never miss out. But before we start, let me give the normal spoiler warning. This plot leak is coming from 4chan, and although that in no way automatically proves it's true, or discredits it altogether, please take this with a grain of salt. Now let's get started. So like I said, an anonymous user dumped a ton of information, and started by saying that the adult animated Deadpool TV series, which was cancelled in March of 2018, is making a return, and it'll be going to Hulu instead of FXX, but no writers or producers have been announced yet, and Donald Glover most likely won't return. Next, Marvel is trying to make Blade and Moon Knight team up in some form, most likely a TV show or a movie. However, nothing is off the table, and we recently heard from the Moon Knight plot leak that the show would introduce Stake and the first vampires into the MCU, so a crossover between them is basically guaranteed, especially if the rumors that they're building up to the Midnight Suns are true. Next, they say that the MODOK animated series is going to be very similar to Archer, at least tone-wise, and a Young Avengers sitcom in the vein of Community is in the works. A dark and gritty Punisher movie is being worked on as well, but it's been put on hold due to police misusing the Punisher logo and the current situation with police brutality and Black Lives Matter. The Deadpool TV series could even cross over with Hitmonkey, which is also being produced by Hulu and is set to be voiced by Seth Rogen. However, many other actors are being considered for the role as well. Next is something that, if true, would have excited a lot of fans, except it's kinda pointless and could cost you more money. But apparently Marvel is planning to make R-rated movies. However, they'll be on a new streaming service called Marvel Max. Now I don't know if they'll make a Disney Plus and Marvel Max bundle, or if it'll be included with your Disney Plus subscription, but I doubt it. And just like how Disney Plus still doesn't have much new content, this streaming service will be the same. And the reason why I said it's pointless is because according to this person, these films might cross over into other Marvel movies, but they'll be PG-13. Now, like all of you know, the MCU is made in a way where you have to watch all the movies and soon the shows to be completely caught up and understand everything that's happening. But as soon as you make it rated R, you're pushing away a large part of your audience in the form of kids and families. Now, I'm not saying that rated R movies are bad. I actually think that Deadpool 1 and 2, Logan, and the Netflix shows were amazing. But if you remember, Wolverine was rated PG-13 for almost 20 years before Logan. And not only did it allow him to cross over with the X-Men, but it allowed everyone to watch the movies. They made a lot of money, and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is one of the most popular superheroes ever. However, I know that a lot of you want those dark, gritty, and bloody shows and movies, which is fine, if you're willing to pay extra. But we'll just have to wait till Marvel makes an official announcement to see what their plan really is. Next, according to this person, the third Spider-Man movie is supposedly going to be called Spider-Man Can't Go Home. Marvel is also looking to create a Suicide Squad-esque film with the Thunderbolts, and James Gunn might be interested in directing. Death is going to be introduced to the MCU possibly through Deadpool 3, Moon Knight is going to have a huge focus on mental health and people who diagnose themselves with mental health disorders as opposed to people that actually have them. And lastly, Howard the Duck is going to get a live-action movie instead of an animated series, which will also be under Marvel Max. So now that we talked about all the leaks, here's the second anonymous user who supposedly debunked everything. However, he didn't really debunk much. He started by saying that Moon Knight is going to talk about the differences between actual mental illness and self-diagnosing, not just focusing on them. Death will not be in Deadpool 3, and a Young Avengers sitcom that's like Community is an idea that's been thrown around. However, it's not officially in production yet. Next, Deadpool's animated series is trying to come back and cross over with Hitmonkey due to the success of Harley Quinn's animated series. Talks of a Punisher movie are being discussed, but it's gonna be low budget and very gritty. However, it's not coming out anytime soon since the BLM protests and the Netflix deal are stopping this from happening. Spider-Man Can't Go Home is a working title, but Sony apparently still can't think of a name, which I find very hard to believe. But anyways, he goes on to say that Marvel Max is going to be for R-rated content, and that Blade and Moon Knight are going to team up in some form. And lastly, the Howard the Duck movie is officially why they wanted to cancel the Hulu animated series, and they're instead going to be making an animated or live-action movie, which will be rated R as well. But let me know what you guys think about all this. Do you think that any of this is real? And what do you guys think of Marvel Max and having R-rated movies or shows in general? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you'll never miss another video. Thanks for watching, and remember to wash your hands and stay safe.